Hi, everybody. Welcome today. I'm Kathy Silberman from Academic Alliances at ASU. And today we're really happy to have the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts with us. And this is a great opportunity for you to get some information that you might not already be aware of so that you can use that information to help you as you help your students. And so they're going to talk first, and then I will share some information on my path to ASU at the end. So I'll turn it over to Herberger.
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning, everybody. It is so nice to see all of you here in our Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts transfer session. Thank you for joining today. We're going to start our presentation with a general overview of the Herberger Institute, and then we'll go into specific programs that are available within the Herberger Institute, especially highlighting the ones that are transfer friendly for your students. Before we do that, I'm not sure if we have the chat function activated. If you can put down your name and which community college you're joining from in the chat, that would be helpful. In addition to that, if you can let us know if this is the first time you're learning about the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts, or if you have attended the session before, just kind of give us a sense of who you are. We always like to get to know our colleagues, people that are supporting our incoming students. With that said, let's get started. My name is Sunny Kuo. I am the Assistant Dean for Admissions and Enrollment and Global Outreach for the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts. Joining me today are my two fantastic colleagues who support our undergraduate student recruitment efforts, Lucy Evangelista, wave, and Alejandra Espinoza, wave. In addition, I've invited our experienced, fantastic friend, Matt Ransom, who is our Herberger Institute advisor, to join this session so he can talk about some of the commonly asked questions from our transfer students when they first join our programs. Also provide some helpful advice to see how we can work together to support our transfer students who are interested in the arts and design programs. And you will learn more, you'll hear more from them shortly. First, let me share some information about the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts. The Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts basically is a college that offers any degree, undergraduate degree programs or graduate degree programs that cover performing arts, visual arts, design, film, media arts and sciences, and fashion-related programs. The majority of our degree programs are project-based, and they're focused on student teaching and hands-on learning. We offer both in-person and online, purely online degrees. Currently, there are 8,400 students enrolled in the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts, with 85% of those students in our undergraduate student population, both in-person, campus immersion, and online platforms. There are 6 schools within the Herberger Institute. You see that on the screen. So we have the School of Art covering visual arts related disciplines. We have the Design School covering architecture, interior design, industrial design, visual communication, and landscape architecture programs. We have our Performing Arts sitting within the School of Music, Dance, and Theater. We also have our Film School, the Sidney, Poitier New American Film School, and the School of Arts, Media, and Engineering, offering programs related to interactive design, media design, as well as game design or AR, VR related technology related courses. Last but not least, our newest member to the Herberger Institute is our fashion program sitting in the ASU FIDM. And so you'll learn more about specific degrees that are available within each Herberger school. If you have any questions now, I'm going to pause for like 3 seconds for you to take a picture of the QR code that will take you to the Herberger Institute, where you will learn more about our program, our admission process, and different kind of events that we offer throughout the year. This is a very vibrant community. During the school year, we have about 1,000+ events throughout the year, both in the Valley, as well as remote sessions for students who are in our online platform. We hope through this session, you can learn how we can help your students to transition to the Herberger Institute smoothly. in the near future. So, as I mentioned, the Herberger Institute offers programs that are in person as well as online. Some of our schools actually have programs in Arizona as well as in California. We also have degree programs that are based at the Tempe campus as well as at the downtown Phoenix campus. The ones that I want to highlight are the ones that are now in Los Angeles as well as in Arizona. So we have our film programs and our fashion programs that are available for students that are based in Arizona, as well as students who want to start their journey earlier and start with the programs in California. You'll learn more about that as well. Without further ado, I would like to invite Lucy to start sharing with you some of the program options within the School of Art. And then we'll go over each school, and then we'll pause for questions at the end as well. Lucy?
Yep. Hi, thank you, Sidney. My name is Lucy Evangelista, and I'm a program manager for student recruitment here at the Herberger Institute. I'm actually a transfer student from multiple Maricopa community colleges. I did see a few from the Mesa. I actually transferred over from Mesa Community College, but I did take multiple classes from different community colleges. So I personally know what it's like to kind of go through that transfer process, especially receiving help from advisors like yourself. So for today, I'll go over the School of Art. It's the first one that you'll see here. So the School of Art is the one that offers all of our 2D and 3D mediums. So as you can see, we do have two types of different degrees. So we have a Bachelor's of Arts in Art with different studies. So we have art studies, art history, museum studies. When you see that option that says online option, that just means that everything, the courses, connecting with faculty, talking to students, it's all done online, on ASUOnline. But students still have the option, if they want to do it in person, any of these degrees, they can come to the Tempe campus and pursue that as well. Next is our BFA in art, and this is, one note. So this has different concentrations, and our art education program now does have the certification or the courses that students need in order to teach here in the state of Arizona. School of Art does not have additional requirements, so that means that students just have to meet the first transfer student admission requirements. So as long as they're admitted by ASU, they will be admitted to any of our School of Art programs that you see listed here. So they do not have to submit a portfolio or submit anything in addition to just the ASU application and meeting those admission requirements. Okay, next, Sunny. Okay, the design school. So the design school is the one that offers all of our design disciplines. So this is going to be our Bachelor's of Science in Design in Industrial Design, Interior Design, Graphic Design, Architectural Studies, Landscape Architecture. These are all of our studio-based degrees. We also offer a Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Design. The design school does not have any additional requirements. So again, students do not have to worry about submitting a portfolio or meeting higher admission requirements. They just have to meet the ASU admission requirements for transfer students. So if they're admitted by ASU, then they would be admitted to any of the programs that you see listed here. One important note, if you're advising any students interested in architecture, it is important to let them know that their educational path is a little bit longer, just because they do need to go to graduate school and complete a graduate program for architecture. They'll then need to do some pre-professional work, and then they'll be able to take the licensing exams. And if they pass the exams, they would be a licensed architect. Sometimes we do get students who are maybe not interested in pursuing graduate studies. That's okay. They can still complete a 4-year program with us, or however long it is, depending how many courses they're transferring with. They can still go work for a design firm. They can still be in that industry. It's just that they're not able to, if they want to be like the principal architect, or they want to have their own firm or sign off on plans, that's not something they're able to do because they need that additional education. One more important thing to note is that all of our studio-based majors, which you see in the top 5 listed, while they're here at ASU, they have to maintain a 3.0 cumulative GPA to stay in those programs. If they're not able to maintain that 3.0, they would be required to change their major to something else. Okay. Next is our School of Arts, Media, and Engineering. So this is a school that's pretty unique. This is a combination of technology, engineering, design, and arts kind of all molded together. We offer our Bachelor's of Arts in Media, Arts, and Sciences either with a concentration or without. We also offer a Bachelor's of Science in Media, Arts, and Sciences, again, with 2 concentrations. This school does not have any additional admission requirements. So again, no portfolio or higher admission requirements. Students just have to submit the ASU application and meet those transfer admission requirements. If they're admitted by ASU, then they would be admitted into these programs that you see listed here. For the School of Arts, Media, and Engineering, it is sometimes difficult to explain to students what they do. So it's important that we explain to them when we meet with these students what kind of programs that they're pursuing, that it's the right one. So this is for students who are interested in coding and maybe producing products that are not already out there or improving products that are already out there. A lot of these students are creating like immersive experiences, interactive experiences. So it does involve coding. And if the students do not know coding, this is something that we will teach them when they're here at ASU. Okay, next one. Oh, and then this is really cool. We have the esports lounge, which is located inside the School of Arts and Engineering. And this is a resource in a space for students who want to take a break and they want to go and play with their friends. We do have 12 PCs in here, gaming PCs, PlayStation, a Switch. So there's just different ways for students to use this resource. And I believe every week they have a tournament. So I'm sure there's a lot of gamers out there too. Next, Sidney. Okay, so now we are in the School of Music, Dance, and Theater. So this is the only school in the Herberger Institute that will have additional steps before students can be admitted into their program. The first program that we'll talk about is the dance program. So we have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Dance and Dance Education, which provides students a certification to teach here in the state of Arizona, and the Bachelor's of Arts in Performance Movement. The Bachelor's of Arts in Performance Movement does not have additional admission requirements. So that means students just have to submit that ASU application and then meet the transfer requirements. And if they're admitted, they'll be admitted into the Performance and Movement program. However, if students are interested in the BFA in Dance or Dance Education programs, what their process is, they need to first submit their ASU application. Then they'll submit a dance application. They will request that the school will request they submit additional supplemental material. So that can be like an artistic resume, letters of recommendation, all those items. And then all of that is due in early January. Then in February, they're expected to attend something called Dance Admission Festival Day. If they're not able to attend this event in person, they can connect with the school directly to see if they have a virtual option for them or something else that they, in order to meet that requirement. As long as students take all those steps of submitting the ASU application, the dance application, submitting all that material that's requested, and attending the Dance Admission Festival Day, they will be admitted to dance or dance education, whichever is the one that they requested. And for spring semester, I know sometimes we may get some transfer students interested in coming in the spring. Their deadlines are different. So if you're coming in for spring, your ASU application, your dance application, and materials due in early October. And then in November is when the Dance Admission Festival Day would happen. Yeah, there you go. Next is our theater programs. So we have a Bachelor's of Arts in Theater with 2 different concentrations. As you can see, we have acting and design and production. This program does not have any additional requirements. So that means, again, just students apply to ASU and meet those transfer requirements. If they're admitted, they can be admitted directly into the BA in Theater Acting or the BA in Theater Design and Production or just the BA in Theater. However, at the end of their first year, there is something called milestone review. This is where they'll have to submit an application, make sure they're taking all the required theater courses and have a 3.0 in those courses. And basic is kind of like a checkup. They want to make sure they're going to be academically successful in the program. Next, Sidney. And then finally, the music department. So this is where we offer all of our music programs. As you can see, we have Bachelor's of Arts in Music. We'll talk about popular music in a moment. These programs also have additional steps. So kind of similar to dance, they have to submit their ASU application first, then submit a music application, and then they also have to submit additional supplemental material. So again, either artistic resume, repertoire list, all those, everything is due in early January if they're coming in for fall. Then in the end of January or February, that's when their audition will take place or interview. And then in mid-March is when they'll get notified if they pass the audition. If they did, then they would be admitted into that program that they chose. For spring admissions, it's kind of similar. Again, October is when the ASU application, make sure they have submit that. And the music application, all the material is submitted in early October. And then in November is when the auditions take place. And then they would be notified in December. And then just one important note for this is that we do get a lot of inquiries from students who may receive emails from Herberger or from ASU saying, congratulations, you've been admitted. And then they think that that means that they've been admitted into the major, but we just let them know that they will receive notification from the School of Music, Dance, and Theater directly saying that they've been admitted into that program. We just let them know that those emails are just more like communication about resources that we have since they've been admitted to ASU. We want to make sure they have all the information they need as they're making their decisions either to attend or not. Okay, next one. Oh, and then I will hand it off to Alejandra. Alejandra is going to talk about the additional programs that we offer here in the Herberger Institute for Design Arts.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alejandra. I'm one of the recruitment coordinators for the Herberger Institute, and I'm going to be talking about some of the programs we have in our downtown campus as well as Los Angeles. So this building right here that you're looking at is Fusion on First. This is located in the heart of downtown Phoenix, and this is where our fashion and popular music program are housed. So the first program I'm going to be going over is popular music. So popular music is still under the School of Music, Dance, and Theater, under the music department. So just like Lucy mentioned, the audition process is the same. However, popular music students do have the option of auditioning without an instrument. So how that looks like is like students submit either pieces that they've produced or mixed, and that is what they would bring on their audition day. So the audition process is exactly the same. They would submit 2 applications, one to ASU, one to the School of Music, Dance, and Theater. If they're coming in for fall, their audition, all their paperwork needs to be turned in by January, beginning of January, and then they audition in late January, early February, and then they hear back in March. And then if they're coming in for the spring, all their paperwork is due in October, and then they would audition in November and then hear back in December. But in popular music, there are 2 tracks you can do. You can do performance or non-performance, and then depending on your track are the different specializations that you can take. So non-performers are usually like if you want to be a music engineer, producer, maybe you want to learn about the business side. And then for performance, that's usually singer-songwriter, composing, things like that. So listed here are all the different specializations that they can do. And then students also have a lot of opportunity within the building and outside of the building to showcase their work as well. Next slide, Sunny. So like I was saying, a lot of opportunities for students. There's several open mic nights that happen throughout the year. Sometimes they're in Fusion on First. There is a venue right behind the building called CrossFit Ballroom that is highly utilized by our students. So they do a lot of open mic nights. Sometimes they do their senior showcase nights. This year they did their senior showcase night at another venue. It was called Valley Bar. So it's a little more into downtown. And then sometimes ensemble groups perform at the park that's right in front of the building. And then for opportunities for producers as well. So those in the non-performance tracks, there's an activity called 60-minute flips, where you have an hour to remix a song, and then all the students showcase their work at the end of the hour. And it's actually in that room right up here in this little picture, the first picture, and the lights are dimmed. It's a really cool vibe, and it's just really cool to see what ear each student has. So it's really interesting. And then I do also want to highlight that there are summer camps for popular music too, if students are interested in that, but that's more for our younger students as well. But if you see somebody that's just got out of high school that maybe wants to take an interest in that, it could be a possibility. Next, we have ASU FIDM. So this is where it's located in Fusion on First. We have studio spaces on the second floor and the third floor. And then this is what our location looks like in downtown Los Angeles. It is in the Grand Building where FIDM was previously housed, and now we are having classes there as well. So a little bit about ASU FIDM. There is no portfolio needed to enter into the program. All students have to do is meet the transfer and admissions requirements. So once they're in the program, they can decide where they want to start their journey, whether it's in Phoenix or downtown Los Angeles. The program is the same, just the buildings are different. That's what I usually tell students on my tours. And once they're into the program, they are going to pick a track. So we have 4 tracks now. We have fashion design, fashion business management, fashion studies, and apparel technical design. That one is our newest track. It's more working on the back end of fashion. They work a lot with Optitech, so that is a digital platform students learn about in the program. And then they work a lot with that, and they just make sure the product fits the person before they go into whole production. And so even though they pick one of these tracks, they're still going to dabble in the tracks somehow. So we want students very well-rounded once they graduate. So they'll be, if a student is a fashion design track, they'll be taking like 1 or 2 classes on business and vice versa. So it's really nice just to see the other aspects of fashion as well. And then in Los Angeles only, we are offering AA degrees, and they are in fashion styling, merchandising, and apparel technical design. And again, there's no portfolio needed to enter into these AA degrees. However, they are just only located in Los Angeles. And then a great thing that we acquired from FIDM is the fashion club. So we have decided to continue with the fashion club. The great thing about this for prospective students is that they're able to create a fashion club in their high school or community college. So by creating a club, these students are able to be qualified for scholarship opportunities as well. So they have to have a standing club running for a year. They need at least 5 members, and they need to do a required amount of meetings. And there is if you scan the QR code, it will take you to the Fashion Club page that will tell you the step-by-steps and all the requirements needed. And then some of the special things that we in the ASU FIDM fashion program are trying to do is giving these students an opportunity to look at the different events that happen, like on the downtown campus. If there's potential guest speakers coming in, they can Zoom in or invited in person, and just get access to those things to better get to know the program and just have more exposure as well. But the main thing is really the scholarship opportunities. So I highly encourage you tell students to create a fashion club in their community college so they can be eligible. And then our final school we're going to be going over is the Sidney Poitier New American Film School. So this is where our film programs are housed. So we have 2. We have the BA in film and filmmaking practices, and the BFA in film and media production. So the BA in film is more if students want to go into like screenwriting, pre-professional work, and just making sure you're getting like the crew together, so like the back end. Whereas the BFA in film and media production, if you want to like really specialize in something, so they have several tracks. You can do editing, sound, cinematography, producing. And to enter into any of these programs, there's no reel that needs to be submitted or portfolio. They just have to meet the transfer admissions requirements. And then just like fashion, this program is also located in Los Angeles in our Herald Examiner building. But back to Arizona. So students in the film program, they will start out in our Tempe campus and then for their lower division courses. And then once they transition to their upper division courses, they will go to the MIX Center. And you can see the picture in the background. It's a lovely facility that is located in downtown Mesa. And it has anything that you can think of that film students would love to play with. And so our students go there once they're taking their upper division courses to utilize the resources in that building. And you can see a better picture here. Sometimes we play movies in the park. It is with a partnership with the downtown Mesa community. So a lot of community events also happen in the building as well. And then this is where the film students in Los Angeles take classes. This is the Herald Examiner building. And it's a very historical building in downtown Los Angeles. And so students will take all their courses here, and it's about a couple blocks from the Grand building as well. So they're pretty close to one another.
Thank you, Lucy and Alejandra. So these are all the Herberger Institute undergraduate programs within all 6 Herberger schools. Altogether, we have about 50 plus undergraduate degrees. That list continues to grow and different learning modalities. So we think that it is going to enable our lifelong learners as part of the Herberger Institute community to continue their passions and their interest in arts and design related fields. With all those possible degree programs, we also built a very fantastic support system for our students that are pursuing their degrees with the Herberger Institute. And our faculty and our staff are very committed to helping our students to start their journey with ASU Herberger Institute as smoothly as possible. And our favorite time is to see them walking across the stage at graduation. And a critical team that helps our students to remain successful in their Herberger Institute experience is our advisors. So with that, I would like to invite Matt Ransom to talk a little bit about different kind of advising resources we provide for our transfer students. Also take this opportunity to share some of the commonly asked questions and advice you will have for our colleagues in the community college as well. Matt?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Matt Ransom, and I'm the Assistant Director of Academic Services at the Herberger Institute. And one important part of the advising experience is that all incoming new students will have a mandatory advising appointment where they must meet with one of the academic advisors. I know that a lot of times students who are thinking about transferring, they sometimes feel like they want to talk to someone before they might even apply to ASU, or maybe they applied, but they're worried about being accepted. The way that the ASU system works is that advising is triggered after the student has been fully admitted to ASU, and that is when advisors get access to the student's records. A lot of transfer students, they want to know precisely how are my credits being applied? How many classes do I have left? Can I graduate within, a certain number of semesters in the future? And those are all super important and super valid questions. And our advising team isn't really well equipped to answer those until after the student's been fully admitted, and advisors then get access to the full student's record of what has transferred in, and we can run an audit and see the exact precise details that a lot of our transfer students are looking for during their first advising appointment. So sometimes students, when they're interested in learning more, we do want to refer them to some of the resources ASU has already built, such as the transfer credit guide, the My Path to ASU. Those can be helpful resources where students can identify, okay, I'm interested in this major or that major or that major, and I can see what are the course equivalents offered at this community college that I can be working on that will then help me be best prepared to transfer into my intended area of study at ASU. So then when the student is here, they've been fully admitted. Before we allow them to enroll in any classes, they must have this advising appointment. So we will work with the student to review what do we have on file, what's transferred in. And occasionally the student gets admitted while they're still enrolled in their current spring classes. So we will proactively work with the student to figure out, what are you still taking this semester? How do those classes also play in and transfer in so that we're not advising you to duplicate any credits next semester? During those advising appointments, our transfer students ask us all sorts of questions that are wonderful. And we act as a resource that helps refer the student to the right office. So sometimes students might ask us about parking on campus or housing on campus. And while that is not our area of expertise, we can definitely help connect them to the right experts who can answer those kinds of questions for them. In our Office of Student Success, advising makes up a big part of our staff, but we also have staff members that engage with our students on career resources, and we have our creative career team that helps students with getting ready for internships, polishing up their resumes. We have specific resources for all of our creative industries we support, so our students can get really well prepared after graduation to find gainful employment. Internships are not required in every major, but there are a few specific majors that do require internships, and those will be explicitly listed right on their major map that it says that they have to do an internship. For any majors that do not require an internship is always allowed to count. So students who may not need to do an internship are still welcome to pursue that kind of an opportunity, and we can use it towards their degree requirements. ASU has, Sunny mentioned, we have over 8,000 students in our college alone. We have like 10,000 students at Tempe campus, and I don't even know how many tens of thousands of students across all of our other metro campuses in California. We just grow every year. We have hundreds of different student organizations. And so that is something we really encourage our students to get engaged with. That said, I will acknowledge that a lot of our transfer students are oftentimes what we might label as a non-traditional student. They're folks who they're working, maybe they have families already. We want them to get involved in student organizations to the extent that they're interested and they have the bandwidth to do so. We know that being involved with student organizations can build affiliation, build connections, build relationships. And a lot of our majors will have professional related student organizations. Just to give an example, in the architecture area, there's a student organization, the American Institute for Architecture Students. And that can have long-lasting professional and interpersonal connections where you can also meet other classmates in your field, students who are maybe in that master's program. So there's a lot of advantages for students to getting involved with student organizations. Studying abroad is also really important for some students, and we have lots of study abroad opportunities at ASU. The vast majority of our programs in study abroad can be embedded directly in one of their semesters. For a transfer student coming in, the sooner they think they might want to study abroad, the sooner they should be letting us know about it. There are some study abroad programs where what they can complete while they're abroad is a little limited. So we need to make sure when that student's coming to us and they're trying to graduate in just 2 years or 2.5 years, if we know there's a semester they're going to be away, we need to be really conscientious about what are the courses you can get while you're on the study abroad program, so we can advise you to get the right kinds of courses while you're not studying abroad, so that we're not derailing your long-term study, your long-term graduation progress just because you went abroad. All right, so I've rattled off a whole bunch of stuff now, and I think we're ready to open up for Q&A.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Sorry, Sunny.
Hold on. Before we get to that portion, because Kathy will go over some of the helpful information about my path to ASU as well. But before we do that, I want to pause for a second because we literally just shared a bunch of information about the Herberger Institute. This is a fast-growing college at ASU, and we know you may have questions or your students may need assistance. So here is a slide. I think a lot of time people will take this opportunity to take a picture or a screenshot. For your students who are still enrolling in the community college courses or associate's degrees, or they're still thinking about where they want to apply, my office is your students and your first point of contact. If they need additional information or just to verify some of the admission criteria, Lucy, Alejandra, and myself, we're here to assist your students. Most of those information are available on our website, but sometimes it's harder to navigate. So feel free to reach out. We will assist as fast as possible. And then once, as Matt mentioned, once they are enrolled at ASU, then our advisor will become their first point of contact for various sources of information. So with that said, I'm going to invite Kathy to go over some of the helpful information about my path to ASU, and then we will open up the room for various questions that you may have. Kathy?
Kathy, we can't hear you for some reason. No problems. I can take over. My name is Anik. I work for Academic Alliances at ASU, and I'll talk a little bit about my path to ASU and the benefits that I can provide for your students. So it does help to save time and money because they are taking the coursework that they know will transfer into ASU while they're still studying with you, and they know exactly how it will transfer in, and we'll show you some examples of how it works in just a moment. It shows you a customized course-by-course pathway every term that they're registering for courses with your institutions, and it allows them to track their progress. And most importantly, how it would specifically apply to their degree here at ASU. When they sign up, they'll also be receiving personalized communications from their college of choice, which is nice. They're hearing from their college straight off the bat, such as Herberger. And it allows them to access transfer coordinators more easily. It just kind of facilitates the whole process for them. And they also have earned guaranteed admission. Of course, if they meet all of those admissions requirements, if they have signed up for My Path to ASU. So now we can go on to the next slide. Okay, so what you'll see here, this first video is an example of how you can simply play with this tool. Anybody can play with it, such as you all, such as the advisors that are working with students. You don't need to sign up for it, and you can just play around with it to see, okay, how might these courses transfer into ASU? So if we can go ahead and show that one.
Apology because the tech issue, so you may not hear sound, but I think Kathy,
That's okay. No
she's
problem.
going to provide some context to the video we're sharing, okay?
Yes. Okay. So what you're seeing here is simply playing with that tool. So if you are wanting to, for example, sign up for an online program, and they can do this for any modality, it doesn't matter. This is just an example for online. It's going to almost pre-select certain things for them depending on the degree, and then you choose the community college from which the student is coming. And this is what pulls up. You can see the program information, the description, the admissions requirements, and then down below in the middle there, course to transfer, that pulls up the community college's courses, and it shows exactly via each term how those courses will transfer into ASU should they be admitted. And if they say, oh yeah, that looks great, at that time, they can choose to sign up for a pathway. So that's why this is really helpful for advisors to help students so that you can look at it with them and really dial into what those transfer credits would look like. And you can go on to the next one. And we do like to remind folks too that regardless of the kind of student, international, domestic, local, everybody can be on My Path to ASU because the academic journey for each student is the same. Admissions processes might be a little different, but academics are always the same. So that is a good reminder for folks if any of you work with international students as well. And so when you were searching and getting started with My Path to ASU, this, kind of shows you how it works and kind of brings students along very easily into how to sign up for My Path to ASU. Okay, so if we say get started with My Path to ASU, or you can simply search the majors. But if the student knows they do want to sign up, you can go ahead to the next slide. This is an example of community college resources that we have for admissions, and it shows the exact steps of what students need to go through in order to sign up for My Path to ASU if they're coming from Maricopa. It's a little bit different because they were the very first folks that we built these pathways out for. So they have their very own system and everyone else is on another system. So just so you're aware, those students actually sign up through Maricopa. So that's kind of cool, and it's maricopa.asu.edu where they would sign up for their pathways. Okay. All right. So if a student does decide to sign up for My Path to ASU, just so that you're aware, it brings them through a very simple process, like signing up for any sort of membership account or whatever. And then they can actually track their pathways, which is really cool. They can go in there every semester and check off what they've taken so they know exactly what they need to take the next semester. And that's all that I have. So I'll pass it back to you, Sunny.
Great. Thank you, Anik and Kathy. So with that said, this is what we have prepared for you to kind of give you an update on what has happened in the Herberger Institute in the last academic year. But then we also want to open up the floor for any questions you may have. I believe we have enabled you to ask questions in the chat, or you can use the Q&A function. Actually, that would be our preference. If you feel comfortable, you can also unmute yourself and ask questions. This is a very exciting time for our transfer students. As all of you know, working with transfer student is one of the most rewarding experiences, especially helping folks who are thinking about coming back to school or who have not been confirmed about their decisions. So we want to help them to make sure that they are selecting the right program at ASU. With that said, it looks like we have additional members joining because we are going into an orientation session, right?
I just unmuted everybody. So they have the ability to now unmute themselves and ask questions if they want to.
Hi, everyone. If you have any questions now, it will be a great time for you to connect with us. Otherwise, what I will do is I'm going to post our Herberger Institute contact information page on the screen again, so you can take a screenshot if you didn't have a chance to do that, and then you can.
We have a hand up for Elena Thorpe.
Please go ahead, Elena.
Hi, my name is Elena. I'm an advisor at MCC.
Hi.
I do have a question. So we have a lot of applied science degrees like graphic design, illustration, sequential art, animation, time-based media, and a couple semesters ago, they used to be able to transfer into the graphic information technology degree.
Sure.
It was a wonderful program. Students were able to obtain an applied science degree. It was awesome.
Right.
Is that still the case? Because I've seen like students now need to get the Associates of Arts and able to do that, or is that still an option?
So yes, we get this question a lot. Graphic information technology offers some of the courses that are available to our graphic design students. Vice versa, some of the graphic design are also open to graphic information technology students. However, there's a however coming. Graphic information technology is actually part of this engineering school. So
Okay.
the degree itself and how it's administered and all the requirements need to follow what the engineering has set up. So
Okay.
I would advise you connect, if you want, you can connect with us and we can forward your case to our engineering colleagues. We work closely together since we have some shared classes. But I think to know how the pathway will work into the graphic information technology, I will advise you to connect with their advisors directly.
Okay. All right. That was just really because we have a lot of those applied science degrees and the best way if students want to transfer over.
The graphic information technology students do take some of our School of Arts, Media, and Engineering classes. They also take our graphic design courses. But we currently don't have pathway agreements with the graphic information technology students coming from the community college.
Okay.
That's something we can explore.
Yeah. Is there any conversations about any applied science in the arts transferring to ASU as like a block? Has that been anything that's come up recently?
Yes, it has come up, for example, right now. But the thing is, I think we need to take a look at the courses to determine the transferability into specific degree programs. Something that have comes to my mind is the different option in media arts and sciences, the school that's offering game design or interactive design related degree. So that's something we can look at, but we haven't started reviewing the courses yet. So I'm happy to facilitate the process. So feel free to share my contact information with the faculty team that's leading the transfer evaluation, then we can get that started.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Anything else? All right. If not, feel free to reach out to us via email after today's session. We know that this is a very important time for our transfer students. We hope we can continue to help you and help our students to join ASU successfully. Anik, do you have anything else you want to add, or Kathy?
Just thank you for joining us today. Happy to hear that we have some of our Maricopa partners on here today. And please do contact us if you have any additional questions.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful summer.
Thanks. Bye-bye.